Last session, this group of evil ne'er-do-wells journeyed southward, making their way through the Bitterwood. You spent a night in the ruins of an old farmhouse that still contained the ghosts in which you survived the trap that they were a part of. Egil spent some time talking to them and almost picked a fight with them, but instead the ghosts appreciated his honesty and thus were able to pass on to a better life somewhere else in the cosmos and event and abandon the material world which they were clinging on to out of just lack of knowledge. Um, During this, one of the ghosts, the father, told your group about his great grandfather's ring from the boar that was housed in the boar's mouth. Ripley went to fetch it as one of these strange deer, these kadirs, that had kind of stayed behind, not satisfied with the magical form of the strange aspect of winter and hunger. And it was spying on you, and when it saw Ripley pull the ring out of the mouth of the boar, it pushed its head in through the window and loudly proclaimed itself and seemed very much keen on getting it. It underestimated you all, however, and when it turned down a minor magical item for the powerful golden ring that it so desired, it attacked. Almost taking many of you down, you were able to slay it and fled the house before the rest of its pack of strange deer showed up. From there, you slept, rested, fully leveled up to level 3, and made your way towards Cardinal. Once you arrived at Cardinal, you chose to head from the north side. And as you did, you followed along the edge of the city and looked down over it from the cliffs 400 feet above its surface. There you saw an ancient abandoned city, dwelt within a beautiful valley. This valley itself seemed to contain many, many glittering caves that almost shined like glass and reflected into your eyes during the bright sunlight. You all chose to find one of these caves and descend down from the cliff to reach it. A descent that turned unexpectedly bad. Two of your party members fell from a great height, crashed into the ground, and immediately went unconscious. With this loud clattering of noise, there was a strange sight as two individuals exited the cave you were looking at. One of them, a strange creature covered in thick skin, almost turned into hide, was ordered by a person who appeared out of nowhere. An individual with darkened hair and many features of themselves hidden and see through, as you found a disembodied who helped you all into the cave, allowing you all to pass through some sort of silence that seems to block sound from exiting the cave, but allowing you all to still talk in a small uh, area. This individual introduced himself and his companion to all of you as they helped you heal some of your unconscious companions. The individual introduced themselves as Colte and his assistant, Hotet. Um, and as two of your party members wake up from unconsciousness, you're currently here in the glittering, glassy like caves in the city of Cardinal. And just as a reminder, this is Hotet, the assistant, and this is Colte. Colte Zoletched. Zoletched. Yeah.
So Hotet and Quolte
Zoletch.
Zolech.
Yeah, Zoletch.
I love that I chose a southern accent. Hotet.
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 I love that. It's so good. But yeah, you find yourselves within the city of Cardinal. About right where your little token is showing yourselves. Token of clay represents your party at the moment. So yeah, you're in this specific cave.
It's cool that there was a friendly guy in the cave that we almost died in front of.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You can see he currently has a book open and is pursing through it for the moment as you all gain your bearings. Um, what a interesting little faction you have.
I think they brought Ripley and Asanath up from unconscious, right?
Yeah, yeah. You two are conscious. You're at 1 hit point. Um, you don't feel the best.
Oh, we healed.
Oh yeah, a little. Yeah,
I'm at
you're at
8 hit points.
8 hit points and 7 hit points respectively. Asanath and
Yeah.
Ripley. So you're still not feeling that good.
Yeah, it's still
Also,
fucked up.
yeah. Also, you do have lasting damage as Ripley has a broken foot, and you have a kind of fucked up face.
What else is new?
More fucked up.
I don't. You know? I think it works in my favor.
Hmm.
It tells a story.
So, regale me with the tale of what made you all choose to fall down the cliffside.
Oh, we just got lucky, I guess.
Hmm. Then, well, I'm hoping the paladins. Well, hopefully they don't know that you are the source of the commotion and where we all went. We should be fine.
Yeah, we'd like to avoid paladins.
Hmm. As do I. They already killed one of my assistants, and I will not have them kill my last one.
Oh, well, that's very rude.
Yes, well, they're judgmental bastards.
They really are.
Yeah, they see one man who's mutated beyond recognition, and well, they kill him. You should all be safe, just so you know. Feel free to speak as loud as you want. I doubt they will be able to discern us even through the rock. The Thactern curtain should make short work of your sound. Taciturn.
Great.
If you need anything else, my tent is just around the corner there, so I shouldn't be very far. Beware the ghosts in the caves, and yeah.
Yeah, thanks for the assistance.
Well, maybe I'll have assistance from you. I'll be back in a moment. and he turns, and you see he walks around the corner. You can see he kind of descends, and almost seems like fade into the wall slightly, and he's gone. You see the chapped brute, this strange hulking figure, just stands there. You can see part of his skin begins to like bulbous out slightly, and you see like almost like something is moving underneath one of his muscles.
Terrible.
Well, this is an interesting situation that we're in.
Yeah. You look like shit,
Thank you.
and I feel like shit.
Yes, and a fall will do that to you, I guess.
Yeah, sorry I wasn't able to do that better.
Oh,
Kind of
that's
hard
fine.
to gauge, weight and stuff.
Oh, I understand perfectly. I probably would have died if you hadn't helped me, so I do appreciate it.
Well, that's something. Yeah, Ripley's gonna try to make a real shitty splint for his foot.
I'm pretty sure that Egil has already done that for you.
Oh, did he do that? Okay, great,
Yeah.
great.
It's
Then
almost
I'll
like
put
Egil
my
is a doctor to some extent.
almost.
Black market doctor.
I'll tuck my wings in, put my cloak back on.
So, do you think it's safe to sleep here, or?
I mean, they didn't seem like they were gonna immediately kill us, so
No, it did seem more like they were gonna wait for something else to kill us first.
what else is new?
I'll have you know I will not kill you.
Oh, jeez.
You hear the voice echo from the edges of the cave. If you wish, you can come sit. I can bring a. Well, I can start a fire. We are in a cave. Could give away our position, but I can make warm meals.
Probably not a good idea for fire.
Just come.
Yeah. It is good news that he isn't gonna kill us, though. And
Yeah.
Oxenoth will start walking and wherever
Yeah.
the
You
direction was.
round like a corner, and immediately see there is a, this cave has been blasted by superficial heat, a long time ago, and you can see the parts where the cave is kind of melted, and some parts where it's flaked off, and you can see just regular earth underneath. And as you turn and round that corner, there is just this indent into the wall where this smooth cave that is, been turned to glass, just turns into regular rock. And there's a small little indent, maybe about 20 feet wide or so. It is still very small. Yeah, it's about maybe 25 feet wide and 25 deep. 25 feet deep. You see a tent has been erected on one side, taking up a good about 10 feet of it. There's a large, almost like a strange chest that seems to currently be packed away on the far end of the wall. And you can see Colte is currently standing there. You see he has this strange box-looking device, and you can see he opens a small little bag, takes out what looks to be two small little stakes, snaps his fingers over top of the small box, and you see it lights up with just raw heat, no fire or flame. And you see puts one of the stakes on. Have a seat on the cold hard ground if you wish.
Thank you. And Oxenoth will have a seat on the cold, hard ground.
As will Ripley.
You all are interesting, very peculiar, and part of me wishes to ask a question to you. You mentioned you don't want to be seen by paladins. Can I ask?
I think Asana's gonna look at everyone else before just blurting out a shared secret.
Lots of reasons. None of them interesting.
Uh, before I answer, so with the current political situation, the Empire of Glass has I would like to say, a heavy influence on the the Crimson. Um, damn, what's it called? On the Crimson Empire.
The Reach?
So, from what you can tell, based on your knowledge so far, it seems that whoever the leader of the Reach is has seemingly invited the Empire of Glass into the area. From
Right.
what you were able to gather from your talking to the paladins in that first session, that this leader of the Reach is just very friendly with them now, and he has allowed them to come in and kind of clean house of dangerous wizards like the Necromancer. And,
Okay.
that's why they were in
And
Bitterwood.
and again, the Empire Glass is very non-magic, or at least non-arcane.
Yes.
And do they have any other grievances against other groups, or is it just those that use arcane magic?
Mostly arcane magic. They've been at war for a long time. It's very common knowledge that they've been battling the remnants of Bane's armies for the past 1,400 years.
Okay.
Ever since the end of the war, the Dawn War. So they are militaristic, highly ordered, and
Okay.
very, very anti-magic, demons, devils, and very, a very militaristic culture tends to form extremism, and they are
Of course.
very religiously extreme.
Okay.
If you're a follower of a god they don't particularly like, in their kingdom and under their laws, they have, the ability to arrest you, put you into work camps, and kind of get rid of you that
Okay.
way. So they
Okay.
they're not a nice people. Um,
Of course. Of
you know,
course.
but they do tolerate certain things. A lot of their population are disfigured, as they are disembodied from the magic storms that they also had to endure for 1,000 years, over 1,000 years. So they don't like them, but they tolerate them. So just because it is just a byproduct of living their territory. Some people just born, you know,
Okay. No, you're fine.
ethereal. Yeah.
I just want to make sure, because I don't think we want to just say that we killed a paladin or paladins.
Mm,
Yeah, that's why I was kind of vague with it.
yeah. You can. So you do see this figure, Colte is kind of like looking you all over, kind of reading your facial expressions, and he's kind of trying to get a read on all of you.
Igil's gonna try not to be as obvious.
Yeah. I will say, I think you were away for this. He did mention that he had another protector, but the paladins killed him.
Okay.
Yes, this guy doesn't like the paladins, but I still don't want to air out all of our
Yeah.
laundry to a complete stranger.
Hmm.
Well, I suppose you know that the Empire of Glass has recently been in the area.
Well, yes. They came not but maybe a week ago. And ruined a lot of my investigation in this place, which is tragic.
I suppose we are in a similar boat. We
Well,
were all seeking information of sorts, and we all recently gathered, but we were all willing to use a similar resource, and such a resource was frowned upon by paladin visitors.
hmm, well, I should let you know that I have some information for you that you will not like. The paladins here, well, the reason they're here is they are a scouting party, a group of 9 specifically. That's their goal currently is to clear the city for a paladin base camp. It seems the Empire of Glass is going to be using Cardinal as a fortress, staging post, to dwell within our glorious reach.
Okay.
Which sucks because they have ruined great um, archaeological work.
Um, you said Colte was a disembodied.
Yes.
What's that exactly?
I can show you. So this is essentially what he kind of looks like.
Yeah, I saw the
You know, he
picture.
has he has parts of him that are ethereal, that seem to be dwelling in a different space. So you can kind of see through him at many points. He kind of glows. It's like bright purple in many of his many spots. His hair is black underneath the hat that he has, but you know his a lot of his face is like almost bone. His eyes are like these deep sunken motes of light. Um, you know, his shoulder and arms are partly ethereal. You can just see through them. They're barely attaching to the rest of his body. Um, so he is not all there, and it seemingly allows him to have great ability to jump into the ethereal realm. You watched him disappear multiple times. Just like click, click, like a click of his fingers, he just vanishes into nothingness.
Okay, so he's kind of like a cross between a regular undead and then a ghost almost. Kind of like that little in between state.
It's like a human given ghost abilities, essentially. So
Oh, Phantom. Okay, got you.
yeah, he can phase through things, he can go through walls, and they're naturally born this way. So it's a product
Okay,
of the psychic storms, the anti-magic storms, I should say, that ravaged the Empire of Glass for the past 1,000 years. That
okay,
they are just a natural people that are just they are affected by the magic storms, and then they're born like this. And
okay.
yeah, they're
All right,
rare on other continents. In the Reach, they're not as rare. You know, you've probably seen a couple of them, not too
okay.
many.
All right, cool. And before we continue, I just wanted to make sure. All right, good. Well, I suppose this us hoping to use this area as a bit of respite was a fool's errand.
Well, at least for a little bit, it should be clear. Um, they have not entered into any of the caves. They merely are clearing out buildings. Um, you know, trying to retrofit this place. They've taken up their base camp in the old Temple of Lathander, which makes sense given the Empire of Glass's uh, nature to be highly religious.
Hmm. So I must ask, why share such information with us?
Well, seems you all are not biggest fans of the Paladins, same as me. I don't want you to have any doubts about this place.
Hmm.
I'm sorry I give you bad news and bad tidings. Luckily, it's
Oh,
only
no.
9 paladins, and from what I can gather, there shouldn't be more for at least a few more weeks. This is a small scouting party, clearing out places of interest, um, and which is why I haven't left yet, as I am hoping to finish my task before more arrive.
And such a task would be.
I am a researcher. Specifically, I am researching the ancient house of House Carden.
Researching the ancient house of
House Carden.
Carden.
Cardin. This is where the rulers of Cardinal. So they are my project, one would say.
What was the house again?
Cardin.
Carden.
Cardin.
Okay, almost spelled it right.
Yeah. Their name is clearly taken and given to the city.
Yeah.
It's a very similar naming structure.
And this is the city of Cardinal.
Damn, it's not named after the St. Louis Cardinals.
Never.
Crazy.
All right. Just need to update my notes.
Man, these paladins be sounding like the bad guys.
Yeah, they're fascists.
They
This
are.
the country we live in has let a fascist regime start to take over.
That's
So
crazy.
are we really evil here? Like,
Or
Evil
are
is
we
not-
just taking advantage of a fascist regime to do evil?
Aye.
Evil is very subjective.
It
Yeah.
is.
I bet fascists don't think they're evil.
The question is, if we were to take over, would our regime be any better?
No. I would want to turn everyone into chattel for Hadar.
And I would have a lot of specimens.
But I'd want them to have children first.
Exactly. You want them to live
Um,
life. It's just that life will be engulfed by the endless hunger that is Hadar.
Yes. Exactly. You get it.
Wild.
Oh, ooh, man.
You can have you can have their bodies afterwards.
Exactly.
So
I don't care about the soul. But anyways,
Yeah, I don't need the body.
seeing as all of you don't seem to know much about Cardinal.
I know quite a lot.
yeah, I was say like, didn't we roll? Like, who rolled high for that? Like,
I
didn't
did.
we-
I got a nat 20.
Yeah. Well, then time to speak up, lady.
What do you remember?
I took notes. Cardinal. It used to be the capital. They have deep mountain recesses and rocky hills that are easily defensible. It used to be used like Crimson became a capital by destroying the fortress and set the caves on fire to burn everyone out. Cardinal was only able to be the capital because it was fortress-like. There's rumors of undead and it's desolate and haunted.
Well, you certainly know more than I expected.
said in Asenath's voice.
And that's all that I know about Cardinal.
Well, you aren't entirely wrong. This city didn't gain prominence till about 700, 600, 800 years ago, I should say. But House Carden was placed here long, long time before that. Around the Dawn Age, the start of it. Or the end of it, I should say. They say House Carden originally were angels, downcast, fallen from the heavens. The family settled here and built a kingdom. That is mainly my source of research. They originally became kings first with the fall of Banascana, around 650 Spark Age. It was the Twin Rebellion, where it was Cardinal and Brokenbridge that allied together and cast down Banascana, destroying the two cities, the twin cities, Bana and Skana, which is peculiar, as this had never happened before in Reach. Cardinal was the center of the Empire a few times after that, as is tradition within the Reach. If you have a bad leader, it's not unlikely to have a rebellion cast down the leader and choose someone better, someone who led on the front lines or had better ideas. Hence, every city in the Reach at some point has led us, whether or not they are from a small village of, I don't know, Reed Town, or from a major metropolitan city, Brokenbridge, Crimson, Cardinal. Luckily, Cardinal was defensible. The cliffs and mountains and rocky hills around it allowed them to just sue for peace whenever they were close to losing, and the house never truly suffered. They would just take the back seat for a generation, allowing the next to rule in their stead. That was until a about 100 years ago, when there was another dastardly twin alliance between Crimson and Brokenbridge, House Kryma and House Ruke. They allied, and specifically Crimson destroyed House Cardinal and cemented their rule for 100 years. Until recent events, which have drawn into light dastardly plans and honestly make me a little terrified for the state of the world. If the Lords of Crimson have made an alliance with the Empire of Dawn, Empire of Glass, sorry, then we are in the worst timeline.
Well, we all know that the world's ending.
What a great thing to come back to.
I don't know if it's entirely ending, but the way life is moving is certainly changing. I just can't believe a bunch of wizards would make a deal with a bunch of religious xenophobes. Doesn't make sense on either side. But that is the way the world works, and I am just a archaeologist, and my goal is to just see maybe why. Why would House Kramer destroy this beautiful family? One whose supposed ancestry dates back to angels.
Is he asking why they would destroy the family?
That's a question he's probably asking. As an archaeologist, that's probably one of his, you know, one of the questions he's asking as he searches this place. That's one of the things he wants to answer. When the Paladins came, I was in the Temple of Lathander, barely able to escape, by the way. before they closed in on around me. That was where the bulk of my research was going. Now they're there, and I can't entirely access it. It's a shame.
Mm.
If only I had others who didn't like paladins and would want to help.
Very indirect, I see.
Hmm.
It's almost like a quest.
Whoa.
You don't have to. I can offer information. I can offer some payment. Maybe a magic item or two from the paladins. I'm also no pushover. I can stand on my own 2 feet. But 9 paladins is a lot for two. 9 paladins versus 8 of us. Odds are better.
Mm.
You see, he takes the steak off of the little cooking receptacle, kind of cuts it up into small pieces, and gets small little like slate rock plates, and just kind of hands each of you a small little plate, a little bit of meat on it, a small little snack, if anything.
Hmm. We have meat.
Yeah.
We have a deer.
Yeah.
I'll take the plate.
I will also take the plate.
Now, I know nothing of any of you, don't know your true abilities, but I don't think you're pushovers. Seeing how 2 of you fell from a great height and are not dead. So,
Okay. So,
I am awful tempted.
all
That's a
right.
lot of souls. That's 9 souls for Hadar.
Okay. So, out of character. What's everybody feeling?
Oh, I want to kill them. That's 9 souls for Hadar.
Okay, we got one for go.
Yeah, less people hunting me is great.
That's 2. Hey,
And, fascists, bad.
and Bonnie wants
Yeah!
and Bonnie wants to throw hands.
We just need a full night's rest first.
Okay. All right.
They have a debt.
Indeed, indeed.
We've come to collect.
I just realized I was like, wait. I was like, where did 8 come from? I forgot about Clay. I was like, fuck. Wait. I was like,
No, you forgot. It's
it's Hotet.
6 of us. Yeah, you forgot about Hotet.
yeah.
Fucking Hotet.
Hotet.
Koltai and Hotet.
Uh, okay. I suppose thinning the numbers. All
It'll
right.
also delay their report.
Right. All right. So, all right, Brandon, what Atlas feeling?
You want to kill some paladins, buddy?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he'd be up for that. He's kind of indifferent about killing them, but he'll kill some.
Okay.
If
along
everybody
for the
else is gonna
ride.
kill paladins, he'll also kill paladins.
Atlas is not immune to peer pressure.
No.
Seems-
At least not on things he's indifferent to.
Exactly. We're still figuring out what makes him tick.
Yeah. We'll get there. What
All
about
right.
Eagle? Eagle?
Egil.
Oh.
Eagle.
Oh.
Say it in
I
a
was like,
southern
Eagle.
accent.
I was like,
Eagle.
Eagle. Oh. Okay. Oh yeah, no, he's the calculating type, so for him, he's weighing the pros and the cons. The cons is if we weren't already the enemy of the paladins, this was guaranteeing it.
How would they know it's us that did it?
Valid. All valid.
Is this
Um,
in character? This conversation?
it's about to be. This is.
Okay.
I just wanted to get everyone's
Yeah,
take
the
on it.
enemy thing is they already don't like us. So
Yeah.
if we kill these people, they don't necessarily know it's us, but they're gonna know to hunt us soon. So we're getting rid of people that probably would be sent after us
Wait.
at some point.
Mhm.
Why are there 2 Ripleys?
Osmosis
Oh,
and multiplying.
There's.
I don't know
I
why
only see
there were
one.
2 Ripleys.
I only
There
saw
were.
one.
There were. I just deleted the second Ripley. I didn't notice it.
Mitosis, not
No
osmosis.
wonder I said 2. I didn't mean to. No wonder I said 8. It should be 7.
Yeah.
I've
He
got
would
a
have not.
twin.
He would
But
have
it
Forgot
not
to tell
is
seen
you.
8
Clay.
because of Clay.
Yeah, it is
You were
technically 8
correct.
because of
Clay.
Clay, but I would not have counted Clay. So
Yeah, that's what threw me off. Okay, so I wasn't fucking crazy.
You know.
no, you were not crazy. You were not crazy. I
We're
forgot that
weirdest-
we're because I think I'm still I have like tendencies from your previous group where you were.
We had
Yeah.
6. Yeah, we had 6.
We were 6 and one of us wasn't here, so it was like there
Mhm.
was just a token on the board.
Okay. All right. Now that I'm not losing my mind. Okay.
Yes.
Well, that is quite a proposition. We do find ourselves in opposition with the Paladins.
Well, I am glad to hear that.
I
Now-
suppose
My goal, and I will tell you, the goal of this. When I was originally searching the temple, I had discovered a hidden cave that the temple was built on top of. It is central to the cathedral, and I did close it on my way out. I don't know if they have found it, but as of yesterday, they have not. I believe that perhaps the royal family, or maybe a high valued priest of Lathander, took this tunnel instead of the main ones to flee during the siege. Thus, there could be a survivor, there could be another chamber, but it has not been touched by the Lords of Crimson and their unwielding magics that destroyed everyone else that the city had. So, I'm hopeful that maybe it could shed some light on some of the findings that I'm hoping to see here, that I have been reading about, and who knows, maybe there's a survivor down there. Many of the caves did in the past descend into the Underdark. Those were sealed by the dwarfs of the city long ago, but who knows? This is an uncharted path. And it's easier than traipsing through the rest of the tunnels trying to find the one tunnel that intersects that is not guarded by undead. As the further you go into the tunnels, it's all undead. And I can sneak by in my ethereal nature, but Hotet is attacked often. And I would rather not tell my partners that I lost a second one. So the goal would be get into the temple, open the secret tunnel. If all of the paladins are there, great. If they're not, I must descend into this tunnel. I need to figure out the secrets of the city. Whether you wish to follow me or not is up to you. There's a way for me to lock myself in with you with me, or you could just stay and set up an ambush until I return. It's up to you. Any questions?
All right. Okay, so he wants to get in,
Mhm.
and the choices are: we set an ambush or we go in with him.
If all the paladins are not there, which as they're clearing the area, they might not all be in the temple, unless you go at night. It depends, when this attack occurs.
Okay. Well, have you? Well, before we go any further, are we all in agreement upon this? And he looks to everyone in the room.
Might as well.
Um, he hasn't outright stated it, but like he stated that the cardinal family were downcast, and he seems to be very interested in like if there's potential that the royal family was down there or survived. So, it's kind of what he was referring to. You could ask a question if you want.
Okay. So, if we're going to do this, we have to kill them all. We can't leave anyone
Oh,
alive.
yes, we should set up an ambush.
Yeah, I'm gonna let Doctor ask their question first.
Surezies.
But yeah, because we can't let even one get away. They all have to die.
I'm definitely
No
more interested in
witnesses.
killing them than anything else.
You can think on how you're gonna ask that question, for sure.
You can also ask it later.
Yeah.
It seems like we're gonna be hanging out with
Yeah.
this guy for a while.
Yeah, if you guys are resting the full night,
Yeah.
Please let us.
Yeah, we need those third level abilities and hit points.
Yeah.
well, we have those already. You guys just took damage.
Hit
Oh, I
points.
thought we didn't have our third level stuff
no,
yet.
you have them. No,
Spells.
you have them.
Yeah, we took a
Okay,
long
You
rest.
got
cool.
your long rest. Yeah.
Oh,
I
nice.
forgot about that.
Yeah, you
You
got
just
it
need
in the
another one.
middle of the like the forest after being chased away by the deer,
Gotcha,
or
gotcha.
running away from the deer, I should say. You didn't get chased. You
Yeah.
killed it.
Have you took note of their patrol orders?
Well, from what I can tell, their Inquisitor Warden and their Knight Inquisitor are the two that are. They're the ones that are most likely going to be there in the temple. I sometimes see their priests stay as well, but most of the hunters are the ones being sent out. They go take over buildings nearby, sometimes far. It depends. I've seen them clear out 5 buildings so far. They try to do one a day. But in my ethereal nature, I have overheard in a few weeks' time there's to get reinforcements, and that is why I wish to do this now. It is imperative.
Okay, so during the day,
But I would guess maybe 4 in there. 5 would
Okay.
probably be out. They would be the hunters for the most part. But they're just taking on regular undead, so when the hunters return, they could be damaged. I already had plans and ideas to try and take them down one by one with my my abilities to hide and reappear and disappear at will, but it's dangerous.
Okay. Okay, so normally throughout the day, 4 to 5 of them are out clearing buildings,
Hmm.
leaving usually about 1 hunter, a priest, and then the warden and the what was the other one called?
There was the knight.
And the knight. All right, so usually they usually have about 4 people in the temple, 3 to 4, and then the rest are out doing what they do. All right, and he wants to get in while no one's there, and they have reinforcements coming within a couple of weeks.
Mhm.
I feel it would make the most sense to then begin thinning their numbers before we go for any form of assault.
Okay, well, there's the ambush. We can try and hit them as they
When
make
they are
their way to
clearing the
a house.
buildings, how do they normally branch? Do they all stick together or go off in
Um,
groups?
Usually there's 2 longbows hidden in the back. The rest go in with shields and short swords um, to take on whatever's inside. From what I can tell, the hunters have limited spell abilities. Um, detect magic. Hunter's mark I've seen a lot of, and I would presume maybe good and evil protection. Um, just seeing how they are hunting undead or creatures like that. There are some undead within the city. There's not a lot, so they have had a fairly easy go of it.
Okay. Some magic. Hmm. All right. So, what I'm thinking is we don't attack for 2 days. This is me saying it out of character right now before I commit to it. Gives me shake my thoughts straight. If we wait 2 days, so then tomorrow we could do reconnaissance. You know, gather more intel. Possibly see where they might be going the following day. And then tomorrow night, we can set up an ambush that will take out the first initial, like the 2 longbows and then the long swords that they have. So hopefully that would be able to take out like half the party, half their group. What's that sound like to everybody?
I like it.
Any other ideas? I don't want to.
No, I like picking off smaller groups.
Yeah, sounds like a good plan. It's in our favor, at least.
Okay.
All right. All right. So, well then, Colter. You said we have several weeks before reinforcements arrive.
At the very least.
We need to. I would recommend at least 2 to 3 days before making a true assault.
Well, I can't really do it without you, so. It's either
I'm glad
that
you're
or
on
I
board.
risk walking past hundreds of thousands of undead, which is not what I want to do. So, you can feel free to stay in my camp. Um, Paladins shouldn't be able to hear us. I do have a veil set up, a just a device that allows us to not be heard. It's a wall of silence, essentially. So don't worry too much about them finding us. ignored the caves. They too know that the caves are filled with undead and not strategically viable as a base of operations.
Hmm,
The only thing I
I see.
suggest is if it starts getting extremely cold, go silent.
He
I've
says
only
if it.
if
He
it
says
starts
if
getting
it starts getting
extremely cold.
to go silent.
Yes.
Okay.
Um, I've only seen them come this far up twice, but they do have a tendency to wander.
Hmm, I see. Well, for the first day at least, I would like to view their actions from afar. To know the procedure,
I can lead you through the city if you need.
that will be greatly appreciated.
Anyone else wish to join us? No?
Uh,
Okay.
Little difficult to walk at the moment, so I think I'm good here.
I, I do not blame you. Um, just so you know, Hotet does not speak. He can understand you, but he is not the best conversationalist. So I apologize for any awkward silences and yeah, unrequited loves maybe as well between you all and Hotet. So enjoy his company. Come,
okay.
did I get your name?
I'm Miguel.
Egil. Well, let's go.
All
And
right.
yeah, the disembodied Coltet will join you on this stealth op. As the rest of you are left with Hotet. Um,
Oh, Bonnie's coming as well.
okay. Bonnie does not want to be left alone with Hotet. Understandable. He is kind of gross.
I love a guy that's kind of gross, just a real freak.
Yeah, you see like his head kind of twitches, and you watch like part of his shoulder begins to inflate like a partial balloon, and then like almost seems to pop underneath his skin and like settles down.
Good for him.
Ew.
I'm sure that's fine.
Exactly. Man's just living.
He's got it all figured out.
But yeah, um, so you all exit out of the cave. As you walk, you do get to a certain point where you hit that strange film, and you can, from this side, you can see Gamesh. It looks like there is a almost like this semicircle device that is placed on the ground. You can see it glows these strange runes, and you can't exactly see the film that it creates, but when you step through it, there is a slight, maybe like centimeter thick wall of silence, like the spell silence. And as you step through it, all sound stops, and then on the other side, you can't hear any sound from inside the cave.
Oh,
And the
okay.
sound from you does not go through that wall either. It's this two-way mirror of silence. It's a very interesting device, and it seems like a pretty nice magic item.
Indeed, indeed.
He leads you all to the edge of the cave, kind of will peer outward. Um, I don't see anyone. We should be safe to at least exit.
I'll do. I'll peer out just to make sure.
Yeah, make a perception check. Yeah, you look out and you don't see anyone. You do see evidence of where you all crash landed, pretty much.
Mm.
And you do see that there is like some of the buildings, they look different, just barely. Like someone was here. Like someone went into some of these buildings and checked things out.
Well, it seems that we at least stirred them to some degree.
Well, let's be very careful then.
Indeed.
We left our blood all over the ground. Sorry.
Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna need stealth checks from the three of you as you begin to make your way through the city. Colte does
Okay.
not have spells that can help you all. So
That's
he
fine.
has
That's
fog
fine.
cloud. So he will tell you that he can try and, you know, help you out if something stirs up. But
All right,
yeah,
let's see what
stealth
we
check.
do. Oh wow! Roasted my good roll already.
Mm-hmm.
Oh jeez.
Okay. So the three of you begin to make your way through the city streets. He kind of does a wide arc around that specific alleyway to ensure that, you know, if there's another guard somewhere nearby, that you are, you know, easily visible to them. He kind of takes you northward. This is the Temple of Lathander right here. So he takes you off this route. I will kind of mark it. Kind of takes you through this alleyway to the main thoroughfare. And once he gets you all there, he kind of looks back and forth across the street, doing a little perception check. Okay. Let me cross first and see if the alleyway is clear. We should hopefully be okay. He then goes and crosses the street, looking back and forth, back and forth. Eventually, he makes it just to the edge of the other alleyway across the street. You can see him, you know, a good maybe 200 feet away. And as he gets there, you see there is a paladin who clambers out of a window, spear in hand, and thrusts it right into Colte's face. Halt! Who are you? What are you doing in the city? You see, Colte puts his hands up immediately. Oh shit. Goodbye. You see, he misty steps, vanishes, and you watch the paladin suddenly shake his head, look around. Why am I out here? See, he looks around some more and like just walks away.
Whoa, whoa. Okay.
That's useful.
You see, there's another
there seem-
sound of next to you. That was unexpected. Just so you know, if I have interacted with a person less than 10 minutes, I can make them forget me. But it's only one at a time.
No, that's rather useful, actually. I'm
It's
sure it'll
extremely
come in handy.
dangerous and not always successful. So I'm suggesting we cut further north, make our way around the city walls, and then cut south. I didn't want to go that far, but must be done.
Indeed. Lead the way.
Go ahead and everyone make another stealth check, please, as you have successfully been caught but through
Yeah.
the abilities of a disembodied, you're uncaught.
There we go.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, just so you know, his past roll was a 6 as well.
Oh, we all did terrible.
Mm-hmm.
Good to know. Good
That's
to
why
know.
you did get caught. Um. Yes, that's heavy armor for you. So
Next time, take it off. Be exposed.
Yeah. do it right now. You
Leave
take
it right on the
a
ground.
northern
Be
route.
like me with an AC of 12.
I think it takes a while. I think it's easier to take
Yeah.
off than put on. I think it's an hour to put on.
I think it's 10 minutes to take it off.
Yeah. Yes. Do you wish to waste 10 minutes?
Well, then you gotta carry it. So.
Or you just set it down and come back for it.
Yeah, in hopes that no one comes by.
Also, I would like to say, if you're holding heavy armor, it probably still clatters. You know.
Oh, man, bag of holding. Never mind.
Oh. Do you wish to spend 10 minutes to take it off? It might be viable. Should be fine. We'll just be quiet as you do it. Okay. Go ahead and just roll me a d20.
There you go.
Yeah, you take off your armor in 10-minute time, and you're pretty quiet about it. No one seems to come by. No one seems to bother. There is very little sounds in the city streets around you. And eventually you take your armor off, stow it in your bag of holding, and you continue on. If you wish, you can remake that stealth roll that you made. Okay. So, you all circle northward towards the front of the city. There you can see the front walls are tattered and partially destroyed. You can see massive sections have been torn down, and they are in essentially incredible disrepair. A massive gatehouse also stands there, its tall, secured walls crumbling into the city streets around you. You begin to cross the street, heading just to the other side. It is seemingly very clear, um, and you eventually do make it across, moving your way across the city walls, hugging them as tight as you can, and then circling back into one of the alleyways. As you take these alleys, um, you are passing between these many different tightly wound houses. You can see apartment complexes that extend 20, 30 feet high, surround you and kind of choke you almost, making you feel as if you're in a claustrophobic environment. And eventually, as Colte is leading, there is a rustling sound that is heard. You hear pots and pans clattering, and Colte kind of backs up towards one of the walls and tries to dip in like a small space where there is looks to be barrels that used to catch rainwater that have been kind of pushed down into the side, and kind of wedges himself into that space. Do you join him?
Yeah.
Okay. The three of you wedge yourselves into this very, very small outcropping of, uh, this small little indent in the buildings. Partially peering out and using your hearing, the sounds of clattering unfurl into a door blasting open. And you can hear two individuals rushing out. You hear one say, "Get it off! Get it off!" And you see the other one kind of comes into view as they grab what looks to be some sort of cap that is lodged onto one of these paladins' heads, and they tear at it and rip it off, and it splatters to the ground. You see the one pulls out a single arrow, launches it at this strange thing that was trying to connect into a person, and destroys it outright. It begins to just ooze onto the floor. Not entirely a cap. It was more like a strange, like almost like an ooze. At first, it looked like it was a hat or something. It was clinging on to the person's head, but it was easily ripped off and destroyed. Jesus. Oh, I shouldn't say Jesus. By Lathander.
By
These
the gods.
fucking, by the gods, these living fucking toxins. You okay? Yeah, I'm fine. Just, ugh. You see, he like takes out a small little flask and downs some liquid. Try to get it in my mouth, dude.
Face hugger.
Basically. Well, are you okay? Can you continue? Yeah. I guess I can continue. I fucking hate this city. We'll be back home soon enough. You know, they always treat us well. First wave and all that. Well, better pay me fucking well. Give me a city to run. Hell, give me a city to slaughter. You see the two of them go back up to the building. And as they begin to try and enter it once more, you see the one who ripped the strange toxin off the other's head kind of stops for a moment. And you see he kind of looks out. Aceris? What is it? Huh. What is it? Could have sworn I heard something. Is the toxin moving again? No. Come. You see he kind of steps back down the steps. You can't tell if any of you made a noise, but you can see that one of them seemingly is on high alert and seemingly is slightly concerned.
Okay.
Okay. So within 30 feet. Yeah. Well, I think it's a verbal.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's the verbal component.
yeah, so you would have to speak it into existence. You can try. It would probably be probably be a stealth check to try and whisper this quietly enough. You can try.
Do what you will, Bonnie. I got faith in you, no matter what it is.
Though the one is, they're kind of walking in your direction.
Oh, they are. Oh, they're working in our direction now.
Yeah, so they went down the steps of this building and they're kind of like getting closer. Yeah, you want to try it? Make a stealth check. 9. Okay. Okay. What are you exactly doing? What type of sound are you making? Cry of a raven. Okay. Um, this is annoying. Okay. So, as you are all like wedged in this small space, you hear the cry of a raven, off on one side. You see the one who you can partially just hear him walking, and he makes a sound. There. That was someone speaking. What are you talking about? No one's out here other than us. Are you sure about that? I swear I heard them speak. You hear the sound of a sword unsheathing. Come out. We are paladins of the Empire of Glass. We will not harm you.
It sounds like two of them, right?
Yeah, it's just 2 of them. So far.
Okay.
You see, Colte looks at you.
I'm going to. Oh man. All right. I'm going to hold my hand up to Colte. And then I am going to step out.
Okay. You step out and you can see these two paladins clear as day now. You see both of them immediately turn towards you. There you are. I heard your heartbeat through the Thander's grace. Move forward slowly. Put any arms that you have on the ground.
I just take out my scalpels, lay them on the ground. My apologies.
You can see the one that had the thing on his head walking up. You can see he looks battered and bruised. He's taken a decent bit of damage over the course of his day. You see he kind of walks up, bends down, grabs your scalpels, immediately just pockets them all. You see, he kind of like moves up to your back, grabs one of your wrists. Don't struggle. Puts it behind you. Take him to the warden. They begin to walk you forward.
Is it illegal to be in the city?
Well, they don't know who he is.
They're fascists. Everything's illegal unless they gave you permission.
I guess.
All right. So you said one of them looks beaten up.
Yeah, the one that is grabbing you is the one that had the living toxin that like tried to kill him. He looks pretty hurt. The other one has seen a little bit of damage, but it's not bloody like the other one.
Okay.
Should we? You hear one of them. Should we send up the signal? It doesn't have weapons anymore. Should be fine. Okay. The two begin to lead you on.
Okay. They said should he stick up signal? So they have some way of indicating where they are. Okay. How far away am I from the temple right now?
Right now, you
Roughly.
are.
I'm at this little.
You're probably
X
like
right now.
0.4 of a mile. So about half a
Okay.
mile away. So you can probably get there in the next half hour of walking. Like it'll take some time. You know,
Okay.
they seem relatively spread out.
All right. I'm going to walk with them for a little bit. I'm not
Okay.
gonna make it all the way there eventually. But before I don't know if you want to figure out what you want to do with Doctor and Colte first or not.
Yeah. So as the two guards, these hunters, begin to take Egil away, Colte kind of looks at you as once they get out of earshot. I didn't make any sound. It might be void touched. Fuck. Some individuals are blessed with the ability to find and spot disembodied. They can hear the ethereal plane. He's a variant like me, but doesn't show signs of it physically. I don't see them very often. They're very annoying. I did not expect that. I would have expected him to see me when I spied on them, but I guess he must have been out. We can try to take them on before they get to the temple. I don't think it'd be a good idea for him to see the warden. Kobolds aren't enemies, but they are not well liked. That one, no. He was just one of the hunters. I ignored them for the most part. I spied on the warden and the first knight and the priest. That's all I did. Can you respond into your mind as well? Okay. So he just says that out loud. After like probably a second of wait time, you get the sense he might have seen people who can communicate purely telepathically. I can make them forget me if the conversation lasts less than 10 minutes. Chances of it are working are low, and their god might be up. Let's follow, I guess. Make a stealth check as you begin to try and follow Egil and the guards. That is a 13. And an 8. Okay, you begin to try and follow the guards as they are making their way through the city. They don't. You can see that they do have chains and manacles available to put you in Egil, but they don't. You get the sense that they don't fully see you as a threat at the moment. Um, they do eventually release the armbar after they get like maybe about 100, 200 feet, and just tell you to like walk between them and don't try anything.
Oh, of course. I'm not in much condition to do such things anyway. I am very surprised to find anyone this far out, though.
Well, the city has been given to the paladins of the Empire of Glass under order of the current Lord of Crimson.
I have heard that there have been dealings between the current Emperor and the Empire of Glass. I didn't think things ever progressed with such extent.
Well, you'll be happy to know that the Empire of Glass has made an alliance with the Lords of Crimson.
Hmm.
Personally, I'm not the biggest fan of mages of the Dawn Empire, but what can you do?
Right. So why a place plagued with undead?
Well, the undead are mostly in the caves. We're just clearing out whatever infested the actual town itself.
I see.
I'm surprised the inhabitants haven't taken to you already. Look a little sickly.
I guess I don't seem as quite much of a delicacy, it would seem.
Where's 10M? Do you know? I went off on his own. Went towards the center of town. Should be back soon. Should be meeting us anytime.
How long has it been?
maybe like 5 minutes.
5 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. What's I gonna say next? Hopefully my unprompted presentation will not be viewed with such malice. I am a traveling doctor of sorts, you see.
Well, we have to take you in anyways. I don't suppose you know that current lords, especially Lord Krymer, Lords of Krymer, forbade looting of the city of Cardinal some 50 years ago.
Oh, I did not know that. But luckily, I have nothing from the city on my person.
The warden will be the judge of that.
Oh, I'm sure. And his eyes will see the truth.
By Lathander's grace.
And I'm going to continue on for a little bit.
Okay.
Because they said that they're about to meet up with one more person.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Once I get to about the 10, I'm gonna say the 10-minute mark. I'm going to wait until I get to a nice little alleyway,
Okay.
and then I'm going to attempt to make an escape because they have let me go, right? Because I'm just walking with them,
Yeah.
and
You're-
I appear sickly, so
Yeah, they're not. They don't really see you as a threat. You know, you're small. The one, he probably would try and like keep your arms, but since you're so small and he's a tall person, like he's not gonna like stoop down and bend over the entire walk. Like he got tired.
Right.
That's why he let you go. So
right.
they're underestimating you essentially.
You do the thing where they hold their arms at normal length and they just kind of like carry you between them. You're like a couple inches off the ground.
It seems like the leader does not want to do that. Like the one that seems that had this like almost like supernatural like perception that he knew something was off. He doesn't
Right.
even want to hold you. He's kind of like putting the one who was attacked kind of in the hot seat.
Oh, that's funny. Okay.
No uppies for
Yeah.
you.
You reach about the 10-minute mark when you kind of go into a wider clearing. So probably about, let's see here. It's the front entrance actually. Yeah. So probably around here or so. You can see you kind of are beginning to enter like a wider clearing. You can see what looks to be an old courtyard, massive fountain off to one side. And you can see the cathedral, and it is huge. You know, this massive, probably about quarter-mile complex of beautiful stained glass and brightly colored, almost like reflective lights that almost make it shine in daylight. It's a beautiful structure. You can see coming out of one of the other clearings, the previous guard, which you saw, was a cult. What's the name of this? Basically, the one that forgot about the disembodied.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Culte. Occultation is the ability.
Occultation. Okay.
Occultation. You see, he kind of walks up. Hey, who's that? Some kobold doctor. Just found him in the northern city. Taking him to see the warden. Oh, yeah, I was heading back that way myself. My head pounding. I feel like I forgot something. Oh, come join us. Where are the other two? They went back earlier. So you see a third kind of like walks up behind you as well. So you have two behind you, one in front. And they seem to like almost like begin to just go back into some more chit chat. Where are you guys at? Northern City. Took care of some living toxins.
So this dang it. So we are about right here, right?
Yep, just about. You've just entered
Okay.
into the square essentially.
Okay.
You hear them beginning to speak. Why'd the other two go back early? Well, they found a site that needs all of us tomorrow. All of us? All of us. Damn it. Yeah, well, we're gonna be in the middle of town, not too far. Just around, what you see, he kind of stops, and the whole crew kind of stops. You see the one opens his map. About right there, kind of shows the map to the other two. You can spot it. He kind of points his finger around here. So it seems to be at a junction where one of the squares turns into, you know, the main boulevard.
Okay. All
Yeah, one of the houses seems to have some actual undead in there, so we're all required to deal with that one.
right. Could I, since they're getting caught in their conversation,
Mm-hmm.
can I try to stealth away?
Make a stealth check. You're surrounded by 3 individuals, but you are small.
I'm small, they're distracted, and I honestly, who's suspecting anything from little old me?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so make your stealth check.
No,
So,
probably not.
You see the one holds up the map, points to it. The other two, for a split second, they kind of lean forward just enough so that you're kind of like obscured by like the side of their vision, like their chins and stuff. They're like leaning over you. You sidestep behind them and just run off. And you can see they start talking to each other. The one who's literally looking backwards, holding the map out, doesn't notice you. He rolled a nat 1. The other two rolled nat 4s. They all just like are having a conversation in the middle of the square. By the time you get back down the alleyway from where the one other guard came from, Tan Am came from about here. You turn around, and once you're basically out of eyesight, you see the one looks down, and you see he looks around quickly, and there is a immediate panic, and you're out of sight. Like they did not even have a chance to spot you, and you're gone.
Okay. All right. What was the name of the one that has my scalpels,
I don't think I said
or
his
like
name.
a description, or at least a description?
He is the one who he is a hunter, so he is one that carries a longbow. He's the one that shot and was being attacked by the living toxin.
Okay.
So he's a longbowman
Okay,
with
attacked
dark
by-
hair. Kind of here. Let me get to the right map on the right
Hunter
screen.
longbow attacked by living toxin. Has my scalpels. I put some on the bottom. I put some on the top of my shit list.
Yeah. So he has a sword. He kind of wears like this almost like circular metal helmet that like lowly rides his head. Carries like wears like green padding, leather armor, chain shirt. And
Yes,
I'm
The main thing I just need to know is I'm remember him as the one that was attacked by the toxin.
yeah, pretty much. I'll
Yeah.
get the token eventually. To
It's
you.
okay. I just want to know. I just want to know who has my scalpels, who needs
Yeah.
to die first.
They're just
that's
all
I need.
all the tokens are updating right now, so it was,
Yeah, it's all cool. You're good.
Go ahead and roll a perception check, Bonnie. Six. Okay. Both you and Colte are still tracking Egil. So luckily you've been sneaking, so you're moving at half pace. So you just now get into eyesight with their crew as they're like kind of in this clearing. But you don't see Egil yet. You just see this group of individuals.
Do I see them?
Make a perception check. Oh,
Perception.
yeah. This is essentially what he looks like.
Good to know.
26.
I think
Yeah, you easily spot them at the entrance to that clearing. They are incredibly visible.
I'll kind of go like in the alley that they're kind of poking out, and I'll kind of hug on them from the back.
Easy
Maybe
enough.
not be so visible.
Hey, Gil. Good on you getting away. What are we doing?
We're returning. We have
Wonderful.
our plan for attack tomorrow.
Wonderful. I hate exploring the city with others around. And he will gladly help you in the getting back to the cave. So, with that, all the guards seemingly don't notice the rest of you as you sneak your way back towards the cave. They probably searched the immediate area, not expecting you to have gone so far. And eventually you do return. For the people who are still in the cave, do any of you wish to conversate, talk? Anyone want to explore or, see what's up with Hortet?
I think I'm trying to get a short rest in. At least.
They're definitely gone an hour, so you can easily
Yeah.
do that.
Okay.
If you wish to talk, you can also do that.
So I desperately need some hit points.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if Asanath wants to as well. It'd be pretty easy.
I'm sorry. What am I doing?
Do you want
You
to
wanted
take a short rest?
Yes, I would love that.
Yeah, you're easily able to. You have an hour of time
Delightful. Let's see.
before the rest of your party returns.
What do I have dice wise?
Probably
The
D8.
D8 is a cleric. It's on your
Yeah.
character sheet if
Yeah.
you got it set up.
Yeah, I'm blind.
It's like below your hit points. There's the hit dice section. If you just click the hit
I'm
dice
just gonna-
word, it'll roll it in chat.
Awesome. Yeah. Any conversations? You want to go
Do you
through?
have your- I guess you do.
Yeah.
I'm gonna use hit die.
Let me put you back on the cave map.
I want to find said like some of the cave walls are like chipping. I want to find like some obsidian chips and shards.
Yeah. Go ahead. Just roll me a investigation check. 19. Yeah, you find plenty of obsidian chips and shards. And yeah, you pick them up, and there is something strange about them. There is a slight as you pick them all up and gather them. there's like a slight warmth to some of them still, strangely.
Interesting.
That's not ominous at all.
Definitely not.
Mm-hmm.
I think after I do that, probably just gonna sit down again because my foot hurts like a bitch.
Mm-hmm.
And after all the talk of hunters and stuff, Ripley's just and almost dying. He's just stressed and exhausted, so he just like is gonna sit against a wall. And he pulls out from his bag like this old broken end of an arrow and just kind of fiddles with it and looks off into like nothingness,
Mm-hmm.
just distracted.
Nice.
That's fun. Can I check out my eyes in my alms box? How are they? How are they holding up?
Did they explode from the impact? Like boba balls.
Who knows?
Wait, what are you doing?
I want to open my alms box and look at the eyes I collected. How are they?
You look at the eyes. They look pretty good.
How decomposed are they?
Honestly, there's a little bit of cloudy nature to them, but they were already a little cloudy if you remember correctly. They don't look that bad.
I close my alms box and I smile.
Insane.
I just
That is terrifying.
Why is it terrifying when I smile?
If I met Asanoth in real life, I would call the police immediately.
Really should.
I would dial 911 instantly.
There's a suspicious person.
I just think it's like
They're-
wild that like you all you had to say was I look at the eyes, I see that they're like not too decomposed, I close the box and I smile. I'm like, what?
Well, shit! I love it!
That's such a serial killer thing to do. You just look at your trophies and you're like, yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
And you just
Has to
reminisce
get
about
done.
like all I'm imagining is you reminiscing on plucking the eyes out. Like,
yeah.
why else would you have to
Yeah.
smile? You've had the eyes a day.
The feeling. Well, one, they're very pretty. That's why I took them. Two, I got to kill something and take its eyes. That's a fun time.
Absolutely.
I'm just daydreaming about stealing the eyes out of various corpses.
You do you.
Truly a psychopath.
Mm-hmm.
Awful. I should not have saved your life.
You don't know what's going on in my mind.
I think I do. We have the same monster in our brain.
That's what you think.
God.
You haven't even begun to accept your monster yet.
Yeah, that's how Asana's spending her time unless someone interacts with her.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, I feel like I should step away from Austin off at this point.
You can move your token.
Haven't done shit to you. I healed you.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's fair.
you kind of step back from Asanath, and you turn and you see the chapped roots right behind you, and you watch as it like kind of looks up at you with its lack of eyes, and you see like something squirm underneath its chin, and its chin begins to puff out almost like a frog does, and then the cheeks begin to grow as it seems to just be this wave of like big motion up towards the head, like something massive is squirming around inside of its body.
It must be so nice to have a friend all the time.
Forced friend.
Yes. I love forced friends. That's why I stalked one.
Go ahead Atlas, since you're so close to it, roll me a d20 and add your perception modifier. Perception or investigation, actually. 20. Like you look at this creature, and you can see that it's been given this like strange outfit. You can see elements of like armor on top of it, and for some reason though, you look at the axe, and you almost recognize it. In fact, the longer you look at it, you realize where you know it from. It's standard issue in Bitterwood. This is an axe made from the Bitterwood blacksmith.
Yeah, I guess I'll look at him. Is he wearing like some kind of like uniform at all?
It's it's hard to say. Like it seems to be wearing like this very beautiful outfit. But I will say, like as you kind of look closer, the outfit itself seems to be some branding you've never seen before. But the armor that it has on its shoulder, like its shoulder plates, like you can tell it's almost like it's latched on there from its previous time. But this is probably this looks like Bitterwood guard armor.
Yeah, I guess I'll say to him, like, are you from Bitterwood?
You see, it kind of looks up at you. Cocks its head, and you can see like its arm shudder, almost like it's having this weird reaction. You see the whole thing just shudders slightly, and then calms, and just looks at you with this lack of eyes as the mutated skin has overgrown over top of the eyes. You don't know how it sees. Make a history check.
Your
3.
old buddy Hote went missing.
You try to rack your mind. I mean, you were not a guard of Bitterwood for too long. You just are able to recognize that it's armor of Bitterwood, and the axe are definitely of Bitterwood. But for whatever this entity is, it's strange. It's a very malformed human.
Yeah. In that case, yeah, I'll probably just give him one last like curious look. Then I'll head to like against the wall and kind of just rest against the wall.
Okay. Yeah. Anything else for the three of you?
I feel like we should
Yeah,
do
why does
something
no
more
one want to be my
interesting, but
friend?
I can't imagine why. It's so
I'm
weird.
so nice to all of you.
Egil hasn't turned down friendship yet. He's just
No, we had a fun time talking about like, skinning things and tanning its hides.
exactly.
Ripley just hates people in general. So
Well, I don't really care
takes
if you
him a
like me
while
either.
to
You
warm
have no
up.
choice but to be my friend.
I don't know about
Um,
friend. That's a really strong term.
Eh.
It's a
Worker, perhaps.
It's the Southern hospitality. You wouldn't understand.
Gotta love Southern hospitality.
Uh,
So, the three of you, nothing else?
No, I think
I can think of.
Ripley's very engrossed in thinking about his own mortality because he almost died, and is like really conflicted on how he feels about that. So
Smart.
he's just thinking a lot.
Nice.
Astronauts not that smart. She's thinking about eyes.
Okay. Eventually, after the hour passes, you suddenly, very, very suddenly, hear noises of movement. And soon, three familiar faces around the corner. Well, looks like you didn't have to deal with any of the undead yet. Good signs.
Yeah. How'd it go?
Oh, we almost got caught twice. Egil did get caught and then escaped, luckily.
Oh, that's fun.
It had a purpose, however. I now know where we need to lay our ambush tomorrow.
Well, that's good.
Their entire hunting party will be gathered towards the center of the city. Some residence or some building seem to have a big deal of a undead conglomeration.
So we'll get to deal with paladins and undead. Wonderful.
Well, let the paladins deal with the undead. That weakens them. So then we deal with the paladins.
I like that idea.
I must say, I am pretty eager for this. They stole my scalpels.
Damn.
Indeed.
I wonder what it is with them and taking things from people.
When we
They.
were, oh, sorry, go ahead.
Uh, all Colte was going to say was um, they don't care about the personal property. They only care about theirs.
Hmm. Then
Uh,
maybe someone should take it from them.
I'm sure tomorrow we will all do that.
When they were talking before they heard Bonnie, they did say one of them saying of how they get rewarded for being like the first wave.
Mm-hmm.
And didn't one of them say that one of the rewards to them would be what slaughtering a city or some shit like that? What did
Yeah,
he say
he said.
exactly?
One of them said, "Give me a city to rule." The other one said, "Fuck it, give me a city to slaughter."
Right. Yes, it seems that at least paladins are less than morally righteous. Their conversations are rather dark, to say the least.
Good. Makes killing them easier.
Like what?
Oh, they were talking about their rewards for doing their duties. One wanted a city to their own, another wanted a city to slaughter.
Hopefully not the Reach.
My understanding of paladins must be quite naive. However, that's besides the point. The only slaughter they will find is their own tomorrow.
Yes. Well, it'll be a long night. We should probably head out fairly early. So,
Indeed.
if you need anything, let me know, or let Hotet know. Um, I can get you a few things, but my supplies here are still limited as well.
We should. I should be fine.
I can't think of anything at the moment.
Okay. I'll probably have dinner in about 3 hours or so. So, enjoy your time until then. Uh, Caves do get boring quite fast. So, if you need a book, and you see kind of goes, opens his tent, you can see now that the tent's opened, you can see two full bookshelves. You can see a full desk with ink, quill, and a bunch of papers scattered around. And he walks over to behind the desk, sits down, begins pulling out some papers, writes some things down. Goes almost on a rolly chair as well. Slides over towards one of the shelves, grabs a book, starts opening it, and just sits down and props his legs up and just begins to read at his desk.
Do any of them on anatomy?
Make a perception check.
I'd also like to try and get a peek at what kind of books he's got in there.
Our perception checks have been
I see
really
nothing.
good.
I
Yeah,
can't even
Ripley.
read, apparently.
Yeah, Ripley. The books are massive. Like they look like probably school tomes. Um, you do see Egil though. Um, there is one not a normal anatomy. It appears to be the anatomy of chapped roots and the theory craft behind them.
Ooh.
A lot of the other ones though appear to be um, religious in nature. You can see um, books about the gods, books about um, angels and devils, um, and you get the sense that this individual is, uh, you know, very much so a archaeologist of that field of religious archaeology and the nature of the celestials, which is very interesting, but not quite your cup of tea.
Right.
I will say the last thing you notice specifically is there is a lot of them seem to be checked out of a particular institution, or at least penned by a particular institution. It seems there's a lot of the Requiem Institute labeled.
Okay. A lot of books from the Requiem Institute.
There isn't anything potentially related to Hadar, is there? I doubt it.
Make a perception check.
And I would ask for that
I can't
book.
not peek. I
19. There's one book explaining the role of the elder evils of the Far Realm during the Dawn War.
Ooh. I would ask for that book.
So you just walk
Yeah.
up to his tent and ask.
Yeah. Excuse me, could I borrow this book?
You see, he kind of looks around. Oh, so you're just reading the. Oh. What makes you so interested in the elder aberrations of the Far Realm?
I've had an experience with a Herald of Hadar, actually.
Oh.
I'd just like to know
See, he
more
puts
about it.
puts his little book down, kind of interlaces his fingers. I've heard tell of the heralds and their exploits of recent.
Yes. Quite a thing, isn't it? Just trying so hard not to spew propaganda.
Oh, that smile
Do it.
is
Be a televangelist.
just spreading across the face.
Yes, I'm very excited. I'm very happy to talk about this, but I don't know where this guy stands.
Please ask me more.
But also maybe don't unless you're
Yeah, a really
Unless you're
valid
really
point.
chill
cool.
about it.
Yeah, like unless we all get really cool about a lot of things.
Real
I can't
fast.
keep talking.
Colte stands, walks over to the bookshelf, grabs the edge of the book, pulls it out, opens it himself, flips through it, closes it once, looks back at you. Read it fast. I expect it back by morning.
Of course.
And speaking of, last I heard, the heralds of Hadar fled a ruin to the north and took to the seas. Peculiar. There's not much out there in the far, cold reaches of the north. Isn't
You
there?
don't happen to know which ruin specifically, do you?
The ruins of Vanran Gelados.
Can you spell
I
that?
see.
VANRAR space GELIDOS. Which also happens to be right here.
Hmm.
Okay, so they fled there and went northwards.
Supposedly. From survivor accounts.
Interesting.
Oh, survivor accounts.
Yes.
Does he say it's according to survivor
Yeah,
accounts?
Yeah, he'll say it. Yeah. According to some survivors I've met.
Really?
Yes. The
Ripley's trying
hells
really hard to
in-
make it not
Okay.
seem like he's paying so much attention to this conversation.
How lucky for them
Yes.
to survive such a thing.
I believe they went south towards Clash last I saw. Majority of them. Makes eye contact with you. Enjoy your book.
Thank you, I will. Sure.
Egil, you wanted to borrow a book as well?
He was, but with Asanoth getting one now, he's actually gonna hold off.
Oh.
He'll try to get it later.
You have a lot of time. You have a lot of time here.
Oh, I know. He also wants to plan out what's going to go on tomorrow.
Mhm.
But before we do that, he actually wants to talk to Atlas.
Okay.
Atlas, it's been some time. We haven't had a moment to have a discussion.
Yeah, been kind of on the run.
Indeed. Particularly, I wanted to ask about your current state, if you don't mind.
I have no problems with that.
Have you noticed any changes within yourself?
Not recently. Still the same as I've been.
Hmm. Because during our altercation with the paladins in Bitterwood, I noticed something very peculiar. It seems during normal times, your blood pumps, your heart, well, your heart pumps and your blood flows. Aside from your physical appearance, one would not even think you to be walking amongst us, to be a foregone conclusion. However, when you are in the heat of battle, I noticed that the blood stops pumping. I was wondering if you noticed as well.
No, I actually didn't know that. Didn't realize I still had like my heart pumping and stuff like that still. But interesting.
If you don't mind, may I see your wrist?
Sure. Then he holds out his wrist.
And I check for his pulse again.
Yeah, there's a pulse.
Alright, and just to make sure I'm not mistaken, during the first combat, you said that when he entered his rage, it looked like the blood had stopped pumping through his body, right?
Yes.
Yes, okay. Peculiar indeed. He pulls out his notebook, his notepad. It seems with a heightened sense of adrenaline, your body ceases all the unnecessary functions to deal with combat or threats in general. Because right now you certainly have a pulse.
One thing you do notice, Egil, just passive perception, Colte does walk to the edge of his tent and is looking out, kind of watching. But continue.
It'll be like just a slight pause in the writing, like I'm thinking. And once I notice him, then I'll continue writing. Well, I obviously do not have a proper details on what this might be, but just for future reference, might be one something that you try to remain conscious of during combat. Might be able to give you any answers that you might seek. And I will impart any knowledge or information I feel is pertinent for you.
Yeah, I'll try to keep that in mind.
All right. Well, I feel I need to go plan quite a battle tomorrow.
Yep, I'll get ready myself.
Okay. That's it. That's all I
When
need.
Asanov goes to read that book, Ripley's gonna just like go up and just sit next to her and not say a word, but just try and read it, like read next to her.
Do you allow it? You're trying to read next to
Sana.
To Asanov,
Asanov,
yeah,
yeah.
like wherever she's sitting down, I'm just gonna like silently walk over there, sit next to her, and just try and start reading the same page.
Are you
Yeah, I'll
stealthing?
angle the book so Ripley can read with me.
I don't want to talk about this common thing we have together because I don't like it, but I do want to know more about it.
Yeah. That's fine.
Or at least I don't want to initiate a conversation about it.
Go ahead, both of you, just roll me investigation check. As you're just like reading through the book, seeing how what information you can gather as you're reading for the next few hours.
What was the name of this book?
Damn.
This was a book on uh, the actions of the uh, Elder Far Realm aberrations during the Dawn War. Asanath, you are caught up in the literary, like you're only looking for like mentions of Hadar and
Yeah.
like when you read it, like you put so much like weight on the words, like you're trying to see every bit of this as a sign of Hadar's greatness. Like you're trying to like gaslight your own mind, so you're not like actually paying attention, you know, because you're trying to find your
Yeah.
own beliefs in the text of a person who's talking about how evil these creatures are.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you're not actually reading it. You're just trying to like it's like reading the Bible, but like trying to like use it for like bad means, essentially.
God,
You
I'm
know.
I'm like ritualizing this book about how evil these things are in
Yup.
order to praise
You're taking the
them.
morals that they give you and being like, you know what, those are fake. I don't like that moral, so I'm gonna change it in my mind.
I pick
Um,
and choose.
yeah, you're picking and choosing, essentially, which is
Uh,
wild. Um,
That doesn't
uh,
seem too flattering.
no, it's
yeah.
not flattering at all to Hadar. What do you mean? What do you
Look at
mean he
all these
murdered the
lies.
firstborns of like this entire group of people? That's crazy. He would
You
never
know
kill
what? It's
kids.
his due. I don't care if he kills kids. He deserves
Um,
it.
but Ripley reading, you know, it literally, for the most part, during the Dawn War, um, it almost exclusively encased a battle with the gods. Many of the elder evils were not present. There was a decent uh, group of cultists of Cthulhu that did rise up for a span of time. And there is references to events happening in Southron with the cult of Yellow uh, of Hastar. Um, but Hadar himself, all that's written is um, there were aspects of Hadar that did show up. Specifically, his spell, Hadar's Hunger and the Arms of Hadar, that those two spells were basically coined during the conflict. Um, that did show that while Hadar didn't show himself fully, or his cult didn't outright try and conquer, um, it does lend credence to that there was some aspect of Hadar, some herald that was actively working on the continent, specifically the continent of Karrak, that they were working on the continent, but they were very good at hiding themselves from authorities, and or that people were just too preoccupied with the ongoings of a war to investigate his actions. But it's easy to see that there was nothing that came of it. So there's no like world-ending cataclysm that came from Hadar basically, you know, doing these actions. So it can be assumed that, you know, he didn't gain any more power during this time. He was just slightly active.
Okay.
Hmm. But it does show that the heralds of Hadar have a history that is ancient beyond belief. So
He's still hanging on. We've still got hope.
yeah. But after the Dawn War, Hadar kind of went. His heralds would pop up here and then, but to no numerous or great effect. Uh, it does briefly mention, you know, the book's topic is not on all of Hadar's events, but it does briefly mention historical precedent of attacks from heralds of Hadar, and the largest one was approximately around 600 Spark Age,
Hmm.
so about, you know, close to what, 800 years ago.
Okay.
We can beat that.
We can up those numbers.
This is what Asna's taking away.
Yeah, it was only a death toll of around maybe like 10,000.
Yeah, Hadara's eternal, and we can beat those numbers.
Yeah.
I'm not delusional. Promise.
Not
That's
at
what I tell
all.
myself every day.
Okay. Yeah, and the whole time we're reading, still just like fiddling with that busted up arrow and mentally taking notes of all this.
Yeah. Anyone else doing anything? Any more conversations? Okay. That works. Kulte doesn't really leave his tent, you know. Hotet kind of just stands and keeps watch. You know, there's a lot of squirming underneath his skin, but like that's to be expected. So he's Hotet. Yeah. You put your armor back on in privacy.
What was the name of that book? It was the Anatomy of
The Anatomy of Chapped Roots.
Chap Bruce. Okay.
Written by hold up. I believe it's written by House Vestek.
Okay.
Yeah, Versteck, sorry. Versteck.
Say it again.
Ver-
VER.
I'll paste it. House of Versteck. House Versteck of the Requiem Institute. There are a couple other names in there. You know, there's a bunch of books. Like from what you could tell, a bunch of different authors. One of the main ones. There's a lot of books from the Requiem Institute that are penned. They seem to be not. They'd probably be full books at this point. You see a lot of books by a specific individual named Olin Dunnett. It's a name that pops up a lot.
Okay.
Specifically, those ones have to do with the Empire of Dawn, and specifically the Sky Cities of the Empire of Dawn. There's also one on the Lords of Crimson as well, by him.
Okay.
Yeah, if you need to spell Olin Dunnett, there's this. That name should be familiar.
I
do remember
recognize
it. It's just it's been such a long time since I heard it.
I know.
I don't know why I recognize it, but I know I do.
There's a lot of books in the last campaign that guy wrote.
Damn, fucking nerd.
Well, I think
I'm not mistaken.
I think you are mistaken.
I thought we met him.
Yeah, didn't we meet that guy?
Oh wait, was that
Oh, I think didn't we do like some kind of job for him in Southern? I think, or helped him.
God, what guy?
Olin Dunnett?
What?
Because I thought his last name was funny.
Right.
It
I can
sounds
make
like
this
what
very
you would
memorable.
name like the bad guy in a like detective show.
It's gonna be very easy for me to figure it out. All I'm gonna do is go to Age of Sparks. I'm looking at my notes.
Control F.
Author. Okay. All right, but yeah, that's all I personally needed. And I guess what Egil's gonna do until he goes to bed is does do we have a map of the area? Does Volte have a map?
Yeah, he can give you a map. It'll essentially be this.
Yeah.
Yeah. It'll essentially be this.
All right. Okay. So
Which
we know.
actually, I'll just reveal the rest of it since his is probably a better map. Because I worked hard on this. It's cool.
It looks nice.
Yeah.
Wait, there's more?
Just slightly. There's just like edges and there's a bunch of fog.
Oh, okay.
Definitely
All right.
nothing in the fog though.
Never,
So-
never. Nothing would ever be in the fog.
All right. So we know that it's going to be somewhere in that area. They said that there were a building that they needed to clear out, and it's somewhere within this vicinity. So we're going to want to leave early in the morning, and we want to stake out. Yeah, we're going to want to stake out one of these houses, one of these buildings. Let them deal with whatever the threat is that they're trying to. Then once they're weakened, finish them off. Okay, cool.
Cool. You have your plan?
Well, the simplest part of the plan so far.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, eventually, so after about 3 hours of, downtime and not much to do, Colte will kind of go into that chest and begins to dig around in it and pulls out what seems to be more rations. You can see he has, a bit of meat and stuff. It's not too much, um, and begins to cook it up for himself, and probably one other person. Like I said, he doesn't have a lot. Um, just to, be a friendly host. So he'll give you enough to like, maybe allow you to have a half ration instead of a full.
Nice.
Oh,
So
this is nice.
yeah, so you can all mark off one half ration.
Yeah.
Through his niceties.
Not used to tracking rations.
Yeah, it's almost like when you're on the run, food is more important than when you own a home and you're heroes of great renown.
And people like you.
Yeah, and
And
people aren't
everyone
trying to kill
seems to
you.
like you and believes in you.
Damn, we're never gonna have that in this campaign.
Oh no. The times
No.
of people being like, you know what, I believe in you, that's over.
No, there will be people. It's just like it'll be very select people that have
Yeah,
faith in us.
very much so.
Very select.
But yeah. Yeah, he'll begin the cooking process. Rations are had, food is eaten. He settles back down for the rest of his evening. Is there any more conversation you all wish to have? Any questions? Or anything like that?
Not for I.
Think I'm good.
I probably will go up to Colte and ask him some questions.
Okay. Yeah, so after dinner, he kind of retires back to his little tent, and he doesn't close the flap immediately. He goes to begin some writings, penning some letters, it seems. You walk up. Ah, I don't think I ever caught your name.
I'm Atlas.
Atlas. You come on in. There's a seat in the corner if you wish.
All right, thank you. So I have a question about Hotet.
Oh, really? You don't
Yeah,
seem like the learned fellow.
no, but I recognize his axe. So I'm just curious of where he's from.
Oh, you never told me. Where are you from?
I am from Bitterwood, around Bitterwood.
That makes sense. Um, yes. Hotet originally was not his name. Um, have you ever heard of Storth? Shield Pike? Um, make a history check with advantage. 10. I'd say 10 is just enough. Um, that you barely remember. Uh, there were two guards, maybe about 20 years back, that just vanished without a trace. Um, it was Stoth Shield Pike and Shep Shield Pike. Um, like you just barely remember their names. Like they've been gone for years. It's just like a legend told amongst like the few guards that you know the town of Bitterwood has that don't be like the Shield Pikes essentially.
Yeah, but then I guess I would just say, oh, that does ring some kind of bell. Interesting.
Yes, my one of my partners at the Requiem Institute um, came across them. And, uh, they were good specimens for him. Wasn't really a moral thing to do to steal them, but he did and turned them into the chapped boots. Um, sadly, my other brute was killed by the paladins, but Hotet is still here and he's still very loyal to me. I myself am not the biggest proponent of the brutes, but I will say they were assigned to me. You see, well, they proved very useful. Without one of them, I probably would not have escaped and closed the doorway behind me, and we would have paladins finding my research before I did. So, I do appreciate them now, far more than I did before.
Yeah, he seems very capable.
Yes, they are an interesting experiment. It's you see, he kind of looks over and goes up to one of the books and pulls it out. They're a very recent creation by one of my partners. And, we penned this book, and he sets it down on the table, opens it. Um, it is rumored that some of them, because of the mutations embedded within them, when they suffer severe stress, they can the mutation ability it can go haywire, and there is a few reports of them, surprisingly, turning into abominations. These massive, brutish anomalies. I've never seen one. I've read about it. Hopefully, if Hutet dies, he will never do that. But it is entirely interesting to have a creature that is almost like a hidden weapon in and of itself. If I am taken down and it mutates, well, may the gods forever watch over the souls of whoever kills it.
Oh, okay. All right. And I do have one more question. You wouldn't happen to know anything, maybe heard some rumors, maybe a wizard, maybe dealing with some necromancy has come through here or something?
Necromancy. Um, necromancy is not all that. It gets a bad rap. It's certain wizards, the famous ones, liches and the like, have ruined the name of it with their unorthodox castings of certain spells and their propensity to turn to lichdom to cure their aging, ailing bodies. But it's, a standard magic source. It's needed in the world. Without necromancy magic, you would have a lot less magic. Through here, I don't know of any necromancer.
Oh, okay. Yep, I was just curious.
Oh, I understand. Are you referring to the necromancer of Bitterwood?
Perhaps.
He has not come through here. I would know.
Oh, okay, well, thank you for your time.
No problem. Anytime. You
Yeah, I guess then just head out.
you head out of the tent. He puts the book back, sits back at his desk for a few moments, pens a few last things. Will stand up. Otet, come. You see the hulking brute will step into the tent. I wish you all a good night. See you bright and early. And Hotet will close the flap. And yeah, Colte will go and sleep. You all do the same?
Yes, sir. Oh, and I know who Olem done it is. Now I remember.
Yeah. You were all very close.
Who was he?
When we first got to Kalos and we went to that tower, he's the one we escorted there.
You escorted him into the Midas Tower, and
Right.
he did tell you he was from the Requiem Institute out of Broken Bridge.
Yes.
So
Interesting.
yeah,
It's
Sure.
almost like his
Nerd.
world is alive.
yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
Imagine reusing an NPC.
Yeah, it's almost. Did I tell you where? I don't know if I told you. It can be easily safe to assume that Kotet is of Broken Bridge, of the
Mhm.
Requiem Institute. I think I said that he was from it. I'm pretty sure I did. Yeah, I'm fairly confident I told you all. Yeah, so he is of the Requiem Institute. So it's safe to assume either he met and was a classmate of, or he could have had him as a teacher.
Right.
So, Olin done it. He lived. He wrote books.
He did do it.
He did it. He survived.
He was that guy.
Yeah. He's that guy. But yeah. So with that, you all settle down to sleep. And awake bright and early, even though you don't fully understand if it's early or not, as you're in a cave. But Hotet wakes you all, and you all prep yourselves, gather your armor and your weapons, as you all exit the cave in order to set up an ambush on a bunch of paladins from the
War.
Empire of Dawn. Glass.
Yep.
I said Empire of Dawn so much last campaign that I have to retrain my mind.
Yeah.
Because I
It's gonna
kept,
take a while.
yeah, I kept talking about
Different
them
empire.
past tense. And now they're They're the current empire that I need to refer to more.
Dude, I still had to constantly remind myself not to say the other characters from the last campaign.
Right.
Honestly.
'Cause I wanted to say Seer so bad, but I was like, it's not Seer, it's awesome.
Yeah. Um,
Once you're my friend, you unlock a special nickname.
yeah. That's
Right.
honestly why I changed my Discord name. Just to be like, I don't know. I wanted to differentiate it because it's
Valid.
yeah, it's hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, that's a good idea. I probably should change mine now that I'm looking at it.
Yeah.
I changed mine.
Luckily, I've known you all long enough that I still remember, like, you know, your original names that I had to like learn who you were by. You know. So, we're good.
Yeah.
I haven't messed it up too much. Also, I think it really helps that Bonnie and Asanath are now totally separate names. They're not close
Yeah.
to each
Oh
other.
yeah.
Even though you still have the almost the exact same profile picture, I don't have to think about Sentine Seer anymore. They're separate.
we have different letters.
Mm-hmm. Finally.
Different lengths of syllables.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. I'm probably gonna still mess it up at some point.
I keep meaning to change over.
No, you're fine. It's funny.
I'm the red one. Red for blood.
Red for blood.
Wait. There we go.
Oh, bada boom.
There she is.
Yep.
The game has been changed.
Yeah.
What's she doing here?
Oh,
Wizard
I'm the level
stuff.
20. I'm the level 20 NPC you have to fight now.
Oh,
Whose
dude.
side are you on?
I will say, Seer is never leaving the manor. I know that.
Only time she's leaving the manor is to go to the little council meetings.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Seer has
I'm
like
too busy
literally the best wizard tower of
building.
all time. It's so
Yeah.
powerful.
Yeah. I'm teaching my brother how to teleport because
Mhm.
he has to learn that.